Welcome to this PR Summit, Student Summit. Please, you can send the link to your friends. Let them come, let them join. We're waiting. It's 11 already. Keep joining. Send it. Don't forget to send links to your friends. Let them join. We're waiting. We'll start very soon. Our speakers, they are here as well. Okay, we have like 31 people on this meeting, so I'm hoping we'll get to 50 before we can start, if that's okay by everyone, so that we have quite a number of people before we start. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming. Thanks for registering. Don't forget to post on your social media, and then please don't forget the hashtag. I'll drop the hashtag in the chat box now, so that everyone can know what the hashtag is when you're posting on your social media. Please endeavor to follow us on our social media. We are on LinkedIn, on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. So please don't forget to follow us on social media. Thank you so much, Joshua. Thank you. Thank you for responding. So I'll send the hashtag. I'll put it here. So in the chat box, everyone can see what the hashtag is. Mm-hmm. Vanessa, I think we can start now. We have 55 people. Vanessa, we can start now.
Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, future leaders from Olabisi Onabanjo University. I'm Vanessa Emadi, and on behalf of the Nigerian Women in PR, we warmly welcome you to the PR Student Summit. Today's event features PR professionals who will share their experiences transitioning into PR. We hope that you will learn from them and consider PR as a viable career option. Thank you once again for being here. Enjoy the summit.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for welcoming us to this summit. So I would like to say that if you have any questions, you can always put it inside the chat box. If you have any question you want to ask as regards public relations and comms, So please let us know if you have any questions. So I'll be talking about Nigerian women in PR. Nigerian Women in PR is a Nigerian Women in PR is a social impact professional organization set up to advocate and provide growth resources for Nigerian women working in PR and comms in the country and outside the country. We have initiatives. Initiatives that encourage our goal, our SDG 4 and 8 goals, and we have 4 objectives that we always like to base our initiative off from is to be a resource hub for learning and professional growth for each Nigerian working in the PR and communications sphere, to support continuous relevance of Nigerian women practicing PR and comms as the profession evolves, then to platform the results of Nigerian women in PR and communications, and to promote understanding and values of public relations. So those are our objectives. Our initiatives that we have different initiatives that we champion, and one of the initiatives that we have is this PR Student Summit that we champion, and we all our objectives answer to the initiatives that we are championing. So one of the major objective for students is the PR Student Summit. So down the line, during this conversation I'll be having today, I would go deeper later in the conversation to talk about the different initiatives we have that supports the students that are interested in the PR and comms business. So while we are waiting for our speakers, I would like Dr. Dari to speak to us about what we should expect from this Public Relations Student Summit. Thank you very much. Good morning, sir. You're live.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're live.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, praise and everyone on the team. Thank you for obliging us this opportunity. Yes, these are students from Olabisi Onabanjo University. They are likely final year students, and this is deliberate because they will also be offering a course that is very relevant in this area. And this is going to be like introduction for them regarding what they'll be learning in that course. Though this is Nigerian women in public relations, but I would say public relations also involve men, because I can see now that I think men now need to start shouting about marginalization if we are not careful. But that is by the way. So please, I will employ our students to please take notes, proper notes, be free, ask your questions, make your comments. Public relations is a very interesting profession. I've practiced for over 2 decades in that sector. And I can tell you that it's a sector that allows you to define your path if you know the way. You can always have opportunity, but this information you are going to be having here today will further enhance that which you want to do regarding public relations. We may not all talk about want to be a public relations professional, but one thing I notice is that for every profession that you try to practice, public relations always. For those who believe in going to heaven, that the only profession that is likely to exist there is public relations, because there will not be lawyers, because everything will be settled. There will not be engineers, all construction have been made, but there will be communication. There will be need to understand ourselves. There will be need to manage what we want to talk about, and that is what public relations does. So please, let's have this as a very good opportunity that we have students listen very well, take note, then we take it up from there. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Vanessa, we are live.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Dari, for that remarkable address. Our first speaker for the day is a communications and public relations specialist with experience in digital marketing, media relations, and corporate events management. As the founder of Members PR, an opportunity hub for PR practitioners, she is committed to helping young practitioners and enthusiasts access information and opportunities for professional development with a vision to enable decent work and economic growth in Africa while increasing interest in PR careers. Please let's welcome Utibe Eno. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I actually had a very good time listening to Vanessa, to Ife, and to our doctor from Olabisi Onabanjo University. You know, when he said that we might begin to have, we might start advocating for male marginalization, I was like, okay. Sorry, I have to turn on my camera. I found that quite interesting. Good afternoon. I mean, it's still morning, right? Good morning, everybody. As I was rightly introduced, my name is Utibe Ekbuk. Just to confirm that you can see me and you can hear me. Oh, thank you. Perfect. Thank you so much. So I was tasked to speak on the topic, my PR experience, what I wish I knew as an undergraduate. So it wasn't included in my bio, but or in the bio that Vanessa read. But I think it's important that I just spell this out. That, you know, unlike most of you here, mass communication students, I actually read English and literary studies. So I started out in English. So when your teacher, your lecturer mentioned about how, you know, relevant you need, how relevant the career is in the, or relevant the industry is in the corporate world, I would guide you through my transitioning from, you know, an English graduate to a, what's it called now, to a public relations professional. I have a presentation to share, so sit tight. And like Chris rightly said, you'd feel free to ask questions or to note them down. And I guess that there is a question, there's a session to entertain your questions, and I'll be very glad to have them. This session promises to be as practical as possible. I'm very excited to see all 76 of you, and this is amazing. So take this beyond just a little tip. Just take this beyond an academic, you know, assignment or task. Take these as practical as possible so that you learn and benefit from, you know, all the sessions and everything that will be shared. All right, so I want to share my screen right now. Give me a minute, please. All right, so tell me you can see my screen, please. Can someone unmute and just confirm that you can see my screen? Vanessa, please.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. So my name is Utibe, like I was trying to say, Utibe, no, actually, well known as Utibe. So what I wish I knew as an undergraduate, I started out by saying that I am an English graduate. But okay, let's go into the next slide. We're going to be very quick about this. One thing that really helped me, or that I can say really helped me, was, you know, generalizing, having a background in different things. So this is going to be a little story. Before my actual career, before graduating from the university, I was, you know, I took the leap to volunteer in different spheres. So I volunteered in it. I think I did it for fun at that time. So I would really just, oh, this organization is having these, I'd volunteer, it's having a corporate event, having an event for young people, having, a leadership conference. I was just volunteering my skills. But I realized that being in those spaces, I think I was identified by different people. And then what happened was I started working in the media team, media unit for all the organizations I volunteered for. I mean, there are a number of them. I think there are over 5 organizations I volunteered for, just between my third year and my fourth year in the university. So what that helped me do was it helped me gain experience in different fields. And just to point out, it was not as though I even knew what the public relations field was at the time, but I was just enjoying doing something. And then I realized that I was passionate about this. So traditional media, I mean, when I say have a generalized knowledge, I mean have, be well versatile in different fields. So you should be able to, as I'm sure that you're taught as a mass communication student, you'd have internships, you'll have opportunities to work for different organizations. And with those opportunities, you have the privilege to work for the radio, for television, for print media. I'm sure you know what traditional media is, so I shouldn't be speaking much on that. But the knowledge of different fields is actually very important, because as a young public relations professional, what you actually need is to have an experience with everything. Many people like to say, oh yes, identify your passion, work with your passion. That is very perfect. That is absolutely true. It's very important that you know what you're good at and work in it. But it is too early to begin to specify, to begin to be very specific in your career. So, I mean, you're just getting out of school in the university, I'm sorry, maybe your service year, maybe your first year after the university, and you're already specializing in brand management. You're already specializing in reputation management. That's perfect, actually. Don't get me wrong. But, the person who has a versatile knowledge about everything in the industry has a bit more advantage, and can is well prepared for opportunities. I think that's the best thing to say. So I mean, this slide really explains that it was important that I knew everything. It was important that I knew. I at the time I worked with the radio station. At the time I wrote. I did some digital media thing. At the time, volunteering for the event already made me work in events, project management, handle different things, box pops, different parts of communication and public relations. At the time you're in the studio, you're recording an audio for a jingle. So I wrote here, what did I miss out? So you who are studying communications, I'm sure you know the other aspects of, communications and PR that you should have knowledge in. Be versatile. Don't streamline yourself. Oh, I really love this. I really love this. Put that extra effort to know so many things so that you can be well prepared for opportunities. So the next slide is networking. All right. So I said here, register to attend events in your industry and even more events in your preferred niche. So like I said, there's that part where you get specialized, where you focus on one thing, but do not let nothing be lagging actually. So get the knowledge in everything, get the knowledge in that specialized field too. Don't streamline your knowledge to anything. Volunteer. Then when I said register to attend events, being an attendee is different from being a volunteer. So, you can see from what I had already said that volunteering gave me the leverage. So at the time I was out of the university, I already had like lots of experience in different things. So I was ready to say, oh, okay, so I want to take this field, I want to take this job. I was even, I had the opportunity to choose what I would take or what I would not take. But that was because I had tried out everything. How would you even know that that field that you think you're best in, right? Specialized knowledge and all. You don't know how amazing your other niche is. Or sometimes you'd get a job and you would really need to do tax in different fields. You would need to do tax in reputation management. You need to do another one in crisis communication. You need to do another one in content creation, which is really the emerging media now, digital media. But if you're not versatile in any of those things, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just leave it say, okay, so you employed me as a public relations professional, I'm not going to take the task because I don't know how to do it. So learn everything. So when I said volunteer events, I said it will also give you the opportunity to have hands-on experience with professionals. So the next time you see that Nigerian Women in PR is having this and they're looking for volunteers for this and for that, or some organization in your field in Ocean State, in Ogun State, go there, you're interested. Sometimes what really helps you hone your skill is applying the practical knowledge, applying the theoretical knowledge, putting it into practice. So you're taught in school, there's just that 1 year for what's it called again, internships, but then go the step further and apply that knowledge. Also have access. When you go to volunteer for events, don't just do it for fun. Don't just network to have numbers. Oh, and then take pictures, post on LinkedIn. I met this. I met this. No, actually, ensure that you're growing your net worth very early. Ensure that you have people who can recommend, people who can, be people who you can always run to, people who can be, a career mentor, so to say, career coach. That happens when you have that, one-on-one experience with them at events. When you work with them on projects, they are more willing to see your strength and your weakness and then help you on them. So the next thing is build core skills. I did something very interesting here. I wrote writing and editing, I wrote reading and listening, because many times people just talk about writing, people talk about reading so that you know how to write, but then not many people tell you that you actually need to learn how to edit. I was speaking to somebody 2 days ago, and she's like, oh, she was about to share an opportunity with me. I was like, no, why don't you go for it? And she says, I'm into communications, I'm into internal communications, but I'm not sure I'm into corporate communications like that. So I don't know if you've been taught that, but that's not the scope of what I'm speaking on today. I mean, internal communications, corporate communications, different aspects of and functions of comms and PR. But why did she say that? She said because she didn't know how to write. So, like I said in the first slide, right, having that general knowledge is important. That was, I mean, in quotes, a golden opportunity that she thought she had. But the fact that she didn't know how to write was not a good thing. So you don't know when that knowledge is important. So build the core skills, build leadership skills. It's very important to note that just after a communications professional or a public relations professional is actually occupying a leadership position in the organization, because come to think of it, when there's a crisis, when a crisis occurs, who's going to speak to the public? You. Who's going to write to the public as a comms professional in the organization? Like your lecturer said, like doctor said, he said, even in heaven, right, we need comms people. I found that very interesting, because there will be issues, and sometimes those in the management will take the back seats, even when they may have been the ones who, stirred up the fire of the issues. Who is going to handle it? The communications professional. So you should know presentation, you should know how to communicate and present, you should know how to take responsibility for things. That's where leadership comes to play. So many times you just hear writing, speaking, being creative, and those are all the skills you need to build your career, or to start out as a communications professional or a public relations professional. But I just really wanted to add and highlight the importance of leadership skills. So, if it's within your, what's it called now, your class, your course, you have a course rep, that's just one person. And you say, I mean, everybody's not going to be a course rep in future, right? Perfect, I understand. But you know that you're all going to work in different industries, different organizations, occupy different roles. Not all of you will have the subheading or the heading communications specialist or corporate communications manager. Some people will take the role of public relations officer. So those things have their distinct, their peculiarities. But with all of these, you actually need to, you have to build leadership skills. You have to know how to, I mean, there are times where you're going to have to handle media training with the organization. You're going to take your management and tell them, this is how to respond to the media. This is not how to respond to the media. Because if you respond this way, you're going to put us in trouble. So there'll be times where you have to hold media trainings for your organization. You have to also teach the leaders in the organizations, because many times the CEOs face the media. Many times the journalists come to the media. So if you're not telling them how to respond, what not to respond, how to be diplomatic, then you're actually failing in your role as a communications professional. So that's why leadership skill is important. And like I said, writing and editing, because I listened to a public relations veteran. I think that was yesterday, Mrs. Shola Abulu. You can follow her on LinkedIn, and I hope that all of you are very active on LinkedIn, because it's a learning platform. So you can follow her on LinkedIn, and she was speaking on something around communications and public relations professionals, the difference. And she said that if you take if there is an issue or a crisis, and a communication professional, of course, a comms professional is actually supposed to write the press release, but if the organization gives that responsibility to the public relations professional, there's likely going to be a problem, because that PR professional is very unlikely to communicate properly, as because PR professional is just really interested in the organization, how the organization is perceived, how the image is protected. But the communications professional should be able to communicate emotions, feelings, concern, care for the public, for the stakeholders, for all those involved. That's why writing is important. So hone your writing skills. Take free roles. I'm always going to emphasize on the importance of volunteering. Take free roles. Volunteer to edit someone's book. Volunteer to write someone's, this and that. And this is the perfect time to do these things, because by the time you're out of school, you actually really need money. I'm not saying you don't need money now, but you would need money so much more when you're out of school that you may lose track on the importance of volunteering. So this is the right time to hone all these skills, reading and listening. Sometimes you actually have to respond to things based on what you've heard. So be a good listener, be a creative thinker, be an analytical thinker. Sometimes, so many, what's it called now? So many campaigns, PR campaigns will always come off your analytics of stakeholders' responses, stakeholders' behavior. Who are your stakeholders? I'm sure you already know that anybody that has an interest or an influence in your organization is your stakeholder. So what many people really lose out on is when they start to think that the stakeholder is just the investor, the board of trustees, anybody. So even in the media, right? When you start seeing people, bloggers, take interest in your story, you should know that they're stakeholders. They have that power, tarnishing image. So another thing that is important for an undergraduate to know is to acquire digital skills relevant to the industry. So like I said, learn digital skills. Learn what it entails to be a social media manager. Many times people think that it's just posting, creating content and posting, but there has to be strategy. You have to do things strategically to actually show the difference. So let it be that, the random social media manager who just loves social media management, make a post and, it's flying. But then let it also be that when you, who is the comms professional, not PR professional, handles social media, there is a difference, because you're putting strategy. You're being strategic, you're analyzing data to what you show the public. Email marketing, learn the softwares. You don't have to do too much, to be honest. So that you don't misquote me and say, oh, she said you should learn everything, be a jack of all trade. I'm just saying, have an experience with everything, know what everything entails. And that will not come by really reading your books. It will come by practical knowledge. It will come by you going out there to say, oh, let me try this out. Try it for once, try it for a month. Go to the next thing. Check this other email marketing software. Go to the next thing. Many times when you have that practical knowledge, it even becomes more important. It becomes easier for you to understand the theory of what you're taught in school. Because
Hi, Osibe, I think you've unmuted. Or rather, you're muted.
I am sorry. So I don't know, where do I begin from? What did you hear last? Somebody help me.
You
What did you
said
say?
something about having an experience in everything, and it doesn't come from our book. We have to go outside, like a practical knowledge.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Musiba. I'm sorry. I'm very sure that I mispronounced that name. Thank you so much for helping me out. So I'm sure you can still see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So what I said was, many times Nigerians have that thing of blaming the system, say that, oh, everything is theoretical, but you have the responsibility to take those practical knowledge, to actually practice what you're taught, even when you think the system is failing. It's your responsibility to hold, to steer the wheels of your career. So Google Analytics, there are so many emerging skills, so many digital skills that can make you relevant. Don't get it wrong. Don't get me wrong again. I said don't. I'm not saying you should be a pro in everything, but I'm saying that sometimes some organizations which may look like the perfect job opportunity that you want, they will require maybe the PR person to handle email marketing. Sometimes they require the person to operate with social listening tools. I'm going to talk very briefly on that. Sometimes they require you to handle Google Analytics. But if you have an experience in those things, if you have, even if it's very little knowledge, it will be easier to, take on those responsibilities than always shying away from it. Because I mean, if you think that PR is all about press release, speaking to the media, then you are wrong. I'm sure that you have the advantage of practicalizing your knowledge with journalism, with mass media, traditional media. Also try digital skills, digital media, because the industry is really evolving and you must run with that. These are some very prevalent and most sought out for skills that are there today. Email marketing, learn one software, just know what it entails. And I must add at this point that you should be able to adapt. I'm going to stop. I think that's in my last slide. I have about 3 more slides. You should be able to adapt well. So search engine optimization, I mean, after this call, you can decide that, oh, this is what I want to learn. You can take screenshots of these slides, so they'll be helpful to you. Search engine optimization. How is your organization? It actually it refers to the promotion of your organization. How can somebody really well, the world is revolving, Abby. It's a digital age now. So the next thing they want to see that there's this company that's doing it. What do you do next? First thing you do is check on Google. Do they exist? So I should be able to search communications firm in Nigeria, and I see, the organization that Benson is working for immediately, because he's doing a good job, and that actually will come from writing too. So learn different types of writing. In fact, learn how to write for optimization. Learn now. There are different social media, social listening tools. There's Food Site, and there's a whole lot of others. We're just going to mention what that is for, and it helps you know where your organization is, being mentioned in the media. So for example, you can be all there in-house trying to do this, trying to do that, to ensure that your organization is getting a name. You're trying to build your portfolio of your organization, or even a personal brand for a client that you're working with. But you don't know that somewhere on Instablog, they are already dragging your organization and they have not tagged you, and people are already commenting, and people are sharing it. So social listening tools are actually going to help you. It's more like it's an ear on the ground of the media to know where you're called and where you're not called. So join a community. I did you some good, a little good. So I'm just mentioning a few communities. For example, in this, these are all relevant in Nigeria. Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. I see that in NIPR, that's NIPR, they even have a discounted fee for, what's it called now, for students. It's almost free, if not free. Nigerian women in public relations. If there are women here, fine. If there are no women, if there are men here who cannot join NWIPR, you can of course join Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. As members prayer, what they do is, or what we do is, provide opportunities. So you want to see what's the next job opportunity, what's the next scholarship opportunity, what is the next event to participate in, anything opportunity in communications and public relations. What's the next fellowship to attend or to apply to? That's the opportunity for members prayer. There's the COMSA venue, the deal with training, mentoring. It's a community. So I took some time to just list out these communities that Chartered Institute of Public Relations. This is actually international, and if you can't afford it, that's fine. And I also think that you need some experience, but you can note it down somewhere. So why are communities important? Because sometimes you say, NIPR, shame I'm already doing this. No, why communities are important for that collective growth. For example, the Comes Avenue, right? I'm just giving that as an example. You can ask questions. You can have tasks at work that you don't know how to handle. There is that community of fellow communications professional that can assist you. So in this slide, I decided to just give you hands-on, a list of communities that you can join. Nigerian Women in PR. Of course, you're a budding woman, you're a budding woman in PR, you're an enthusiast, that is for you. Members PR, you need opportunities, you need to know the next job, the next start in different functions of public relations, that's for you. So thank you very much, and you are welcome for that. So what to prioritize? Sorry, I think I just want to ask, are there any questions thus far, or do we just keep the questions till the end? Vanessa, please.
Yes, we'll wait till the end to respond.
Okay, so please help me to help you. by taking notes of your questions. Please note them down and I'll be glad to answer them at the end. So what to prioritize? Prioritize opportunities for professional development. Don't just, when you get into the field, when you get into the corporate world, it won't just be about that organization that you're currently working for. There will also be that part where you have to grow in your career, where you will start as a communications assistant, leaving the university, and the next thing you're doing is you're a communications officer or corporate communications manager. The next thing you are becomes consultant or PR consultant. So prioritize opportunities for professional development. And who told you that you must always start as a comms assistant? You can actually start as a comms specialist. I started as a comms specialist. Even given the fact that I did not even study English, I studied mass communication. But because I already had, I had a very robust CV that said, oh, I did this, I worked in the radio station. I also said that, I did SEO writing at the time, said almost working in different things. And so having that experience, it doesn't mean that the job role I took required me to do all of those things that I did. But they saw that I had the experience and I had worked in those places, even though as a volunteer for a particular number of it, and I work on successful projects and campaigns. So who says you must always start out as a comms assistant? Just prioritize professional development. You may not, you're not out of school yet, but you're already taking a course or two. Hello, that works, that still works. So personal branding, right? As a communications professional, public relations professional, I know that you know that you're handling people's brands, you're handling the reputation and the image of organizations. How about your image? Because sometimes it might not be an organization, it might be a business, it might be a client, it might be an entity, just an individual, a high-profile individual in the society, and the person says, "Oh, I need you to manage my brand." So if you're going to show that you know how to manage someone's brand, you should be able to brand yourself. So this is going to help me. This is going to take me to your use of social media. Sometimes you can be very excited on social media and you post everything and anything, which is perfect. It's your choice. But let there be that platform where you know that this is where you're pushing out, this is what you're dedicating to your personal branding. It could be LinkedIn, it could be Instagram. If you're a very social person and you still want your Instagram to be for fun, it's fine. But you can also, make it to be you can also make it look appealing. You can also make it look corporate and professional. So people see you and you know that you know your onions. If you want to make, if you want to, I'll just recommend that, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram. Leave Facebook out of it, in my opinion. We can have this debate after, but leave Facebook out of it, in my opinion. Use these platforms to build your brand, to showcase your work. You may not even have the experience here, but to show that you're doing something, to show that, oh, I took this quiz, to show that I'm attending this event, to show that I learned this from this event, build a personal brand. So also give out, helpful tips that people may need. So when somebody sees you and the next thing, as a comms professional, many times when I want to hire a social media manager, what I do is I look at the social media profile, which sometimes is not very okay because you can be very good at helping other people's brands grow, but you're not paying attention to yours. I understand. But I want to see how you carry yourself. I want to see how presentable you are to ensure that you are going to be able to present my brand well. So continuous learning, don't stop learning. Like I said, I think that also works with opportunities for professional development. Don't stop learning. Adaptability, be able to adapt. Today in the comms and PR world, we are discussing artificial intelligence, we are discussing, corporate social responsibilities and environmental, social, and corporate governance. So let me say that again: AI, artificial intelligence, corporate social responsibility, CSR, environmental, social, and corporate governance, ESG. So what does, I think that in the last 20 years, 2 decades ago, when some of our teachers or, some of our peer professionals started, there was obviously nothing like social media, but you're going to be a joke if you ignore it now. You're also going to be joking if you ignore social listening tools, and that's artificial intelligence. You're also going to be joking if you ignore your CSRs, your corporate social responsibilities, because you have a responsibility to serve the community that you work in. So for example, and this really applies for maybe multinationals, but I see that many national organizations, many big national organizations are buying into CSRs. You see Lafarge, for example, they are building a green plant, they are building a waterproof cement, because they are doing outreaches in schools, they are providing books. What that does is, well, it's making their name known in those organizations. It's also showing that they care about the communities that they work in. They are tying the roots of organizations that they work, of the communities that they serve. So, for example, Lafarge in Cross River State, they have their plant. Lafarge produces cement and I think other building materials. For context, they have their plants in Mpamusin, that's like another local government. But they ensure that that entire local government has good roads. That's a CSR. That's a CSR project. Now, I'm not saying that, as I'm like, I just start thinking about, of course, but you should be open to knowing what is the next, what is how your industry is growing, right? So that you don't just go with the idea of okay, social media manager. Know that there is a lot more than that. Know that there are people who are hiring just CSR, managers. And what that means is they are hiring people who can take up sustainability development projects for the organization that helps their society. At the same time, that means that they always have the society's back, even when there is crisis, because the society, I mean, their community is benefiting from that organization. So that's also important. Learn adaptability, learn what's new. When you know what's next, another thing that's new in the industry, don't say, oh yeah, I'm just a corporate comms person. Go and learn it. If you don't want to learn it, have an idea. Work-life balance. Please prioritize work-life balance. And I have one more slide. As someone in comms and PR, sometimes you can actually work around the clock because you can be asleep and the next thing you hear is, oh, Insta blog has taken our call. I'm sorry. Or this customer or this client somewhere has got to make a post that we did not provide what we said we were going to provide. I didn't say that you're going to wait till Monday 9 o'clock to resume and start that work. No, you actually have to get up and respond to that issue before it becomes a crisis. Or if it's a crisis already, ensure that you communicate clearly to tone it down and to see that it doesn't escalate. So there are instances where you may have to work beyond the corporate hours. And this is not to scare you. This does not always happen. But I just give an instance to see that so that you know that there's a lot more than 9 to 5, right? But ensure that with all of these, you are able to prioritize your work-life balance, that you're integrating balance with work, balance with your own personal development and personal life. So always be open to feedback and reflection. Don't forget to say something about critical and analytic, skills. Learn the critical skills and analytic skills. From those analyses, you're always going to measure results. See, oh, for example, I ran a social media ad. Let me even use that as an example. And you see that it got me. The audience demographic was more of people from, India. I am not planning to sell to them. So why did we have our campaign reach that far? You might feel like, well, no, but that's wrong because you're not analyzing the results where you need to know that, okay, that's not our target audience. So how do we get it back to them? How do we correct it? Be open to analyze results, basically measure impacts of, your project, of your campaign, entertain feedback, critical feedback, constructive criticism, and not just anyhow criticism. And always reflect on those things so that you know whether or not to proceed with them. This is the last slide. This is actually the super annoying cookies, and I might not bother to really dwell on this because I already had my bio being read. But I mean, this was already on the slide when before I knew my brother was going to be read by Vanessa. So yeah, you can connect with me, and I think that maybe I should speak to Chris behind me. But then you can connect with me. I'll be glad to entertain your questions. For now, share it. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Questions?
Thank you so much, Usibe. Thank you so much for breaking things down in little bit. So I know that our listeners got everything that it was truly insightful. So before we take the questions like she has asked, there is a feedback form that Praise will share on the chat box. and we need you to fill it out just to let us know what you think about the previous presentation. So now we'll take your questions. You can indicate by using the hand icon on your device. There's a hand icon. If you just check, you see hand icon, and then I'll call on you, or you can type your questions down in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, Karim, do you want to say anything? Please go ahead.
The floor is open for questions. If you have any question, you can just raise your hands or go to the chat box and put your question there. Omotoyosi, if you are trying to say anything, I think probably you are muted. You have to unmute yourself if you are trying to say something because we can't hear you. Thank you.
Okay, yes, Kolade, please go ahead. Go ahead with the question.
Good afternoon, Ma. Thank you so much for the opportunity to ask question. Okay, please, ma'am, Utibi, please, I'd like you to share probably a recent case study or an example of one of your successful campaign, like PR campaign that you've had, and what were your key factors, like your contribution to its success. I'd like to know, Ma. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Vanessa, do you want me to answer the question? Sorry. Do you want me to answer the questions?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Kalani. That's quite an interesting question. Let me see, because I've had a couple of campaigns that I've worked on. Let me see which one was my most recent. So last year I worked as PR, an ongoing project actually for Rise Networks and artificial intelligence, education company, artificial intelligence education company. And this wasn't exactly a campaign. This was just basically managing PR and communications in the organization. And the success of that, PR management of the organization, I can attribute it to the fact that before the end of the year, Rise Networks was the only Nigerian company to have been, invited to the Artificial Intelligence Safety Summit in the UK by the UK government, where, where what's it called now? There were very many thought leaders. There was even the founder of Tesla, that's Elon Musk. There were so many other, what are they called again? Stakeholders in the tech industry globally. But in Nigeria, we're the only artificial intelligence company, or tech company, basically, to have been there. So while I said that's not a campaign, that was actually a major highlight for my last year, because it showed the power of positioning, right? It showed the power of brand positioning, to see that there can be so many people who are actually, you hear so many technology companies, tech hubs, doing a lot of things. But when you are actually showing impact, when you are actually showing, when you're actually involved in impact and you're showing results much more than you are making the noise, right? It really just shows the power of positioning. And so that was like a major highlight for me last year. But I think a campaign that I have actually worked on, these was the go pink, when you hear go pink, your mind goes to what's it called again? Breast cancer awareness. So that's the campaign that we're working on, and we had both outdoor experiences, and we had both online what's it called now? Online events basically. So what was my contribution? I handled media training. I handled vox pop sessions, and those were in fact, I handled strategy building in the media, right, for the media department. And we saw that we incorporated as many partners as possible. So you're asking me to spill the tea now of how to plan and how to get how to have a successful campaign. But basically, so I'd just like to say that, I mean, we had over 5,000. Hope you can hear me. My network. Okay, I think you can. That was way beyond the goal. But we had those many people who came out to, sensitize for the sensitization work, and to also check for them to also what's the word now, to check for breast cancer, right? Or to have the test, to run the test. So that happened by incorporating different. So many times, what people do wrongly, I'm going to tell you what not to do to have a successful campaign. What not to do is to focus only on digital media. You're going to be wrong when you're trying to push a campaign and all you're doing is digital media, social media, content creation. Don't forget that even though digital media is very prevalent, there is still the traditional media that so many people are paying attention to. So you're going to be doing everything wrong, or so many things wrongly, when all you're doing is just content creation, run social media ads, when you are not focusing on traditional media, when you're not focusing on other aspects, when you're not also focusing on partnerships and sponsorships. Because many times, I mean, there's things people say that one person can say something to 10,000 people, but when 10,000 people say something once, it makes a meaning, right? So, for example, if you say and I get 10,000, I mean, maybe I run an ad and it reaches 10,000, an estimate of 10,000 people, but I have 10,000 people making a post of that one thing. It shows that many people actually trust your organization. So that's sometimes the power of working with other organizations who also have that vision and drive like you do. So for that campaign, that was an actual campaign and a project actually. So for that, we leveraged on partnership sponsorships from both governmental organizations, non-governmental organizations, influencers in their little sphere, and of course the digital media. So when you're doing, how to know you're doing something wrong is when you're actually focusing on only the digital media because it's the prevalent media. That's wrong, because it doesn't mean that people are not still listening to Arise News. You know that Arise News is, I just had to mention them, and I'm actually giving an accolade to them because they do journalism well. So people still look out for channels TV. People still look out on channels. People still look out on traditional media. People will still search, Nigerian women in PR, and they want to see that so many people have said this and said this, or have done this and done this with Nigerian women in PR before they are comfortable enough to work with you. Or before they're even comfortable enough to, okay, I want to attend this event. Okay, I want to register. I want to sign up. I want to take on that call to action that was put by the organization. So I just gave you one tip. Thank you.
Thank you, Ukibe. Thank you, Utibe. So we've run out of time for questions. So if you have any other questions for Utibe, please put it down in the chat box, and might take this once we're done if there's time. Thank you so much once again.
We still have more questions. We still have 2 questions in the chat box. Somebody said, what strategies can one employ as a social media manager to help grow an organization online presence in terms of followers?
Sorry, so you were breaking. I didn't hear that. What's the question again?
In terms of followers, engagement, etc. So that's our question, the first question. The second question is, please, what strategy do you use to maintain cordial relationship with media contact? As we know, media relation is fundamental to PR. The strategies and tactics we enlighten us. Please expatiate. Another person is saying AI is directly competing with PR and its practice. How does one leverage the opportunity of AI to enhance himself as a PR professional? So all the questions are in the chat box.
I can't even see the questions in the chat box.
What did you say?
See the questions in the chat box. Maybe they
Okay,
should
let me
resend it.
Yeah, let me read
But
it to your
do I
ear.
answer
So
them? Do I answer them here
yes, please, so that everyone can
or I should answer them
benefit
immediately,
from
right?
the answer.
Can
Yeah,
benefit
so
from
so
it.
that everybody can
Okay, so
benefit
let me
from the
start with the
answer.
last.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
The first question
Other
is,
questions.
what
82
strategies
on
can
you.
one employ as a social media manager?
Sorry, okay, Elizabeth, did you hear the first question?
So what I heard was, what strategies can
What
we
did you
employ
say?
as a social media? That's all I heard.
Don't worry.
Yeah, the social media manager. That's the first question.
Okay, so when you say
Yes.
what strategies can we employ as a social media manager, what exactly do you mean? For brand growth, for visibility, for awareness, for what exactly? So I think you can clear that out in the chat box. Let me
It
while I
means
take the second question.
okay, what strategies can one employ
hello,
as a social media manager?
Utibe, I think what our students would want you to do is just give them a
Hello,
general.
who's speaking?
Hello, can you hear me? This is Dr. Guyombo.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Yes, yeah, we
Yes.
can listen.
So I understand what Steve is trying to say regarding which part of strategy. But what I would want you to do for our students is give them a general perspective of what it is like strategizing for social media use so that they can pick. Because now they have not started executing or any program. They may not be able to be specific regarding which area is it.
Okay.
So just give them a general overview. That will help them.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let me answer that question. For this is going to be broad and short, right? So I'm trying to be broad because you said the general overview since they haven't really maybe began to implement social media management. But one thing that is important is that you grow a community. So many times people see that people see social media management as waking up in the morning, posting, making a post and going. But social media management is more of community management. And let me not call it community management. Let me actually say that you see your followers as a community. Now, I'm sure you're used to the social media space, even though you may not have taken up those roles yet. But you see what you see what influencers do to their followers, right? Sometimes they give them names. Oh, family members. Oh, what's the other one? VJ Army. What's the other one? They just give them names, right? Because they are trying to build a community. So when you're building a community, you know that you are liable and responsible for these people. So every post you make basically is to ensure that you're either educating that community, you're empowering that community with them. So is either educative, is empowering, sometimes even entertaining, even when you're working for a corporate brand, for instance, you want to entertain them because you don't want them to always come and see, buy this, register for this. Sometimes you want to also bring in pop culture to your, social media management. What that means is you want to, if you can see, I think it's Fidelity Bank that does this. I'm actually mentioning brands, and I'm doing this because I'm mentioning them positively. I'm not going to mention any brand that has, flopped here. So, but I see Fidelity, I see Fidelity Bank, and I see what they do about with pop culture. You see that they hop on trends, they hop on videos, they make trendy videos with they make videos with trendy, trendy whatever trends in the internet. So building that community and knowing that the aim of that social media page is to educate, is to empower, is to entertain. Because if all that they see every time they open your page is come and buy, we are selling. In fact, let me give you 3 brands to look out for. Look at Money Point, look at Fidelity Bank, look at what they call Jumia. You would even be surprised that you would expect to just open Jumia social Instagram handle, for example, and all you see is we're selling this, we're selling this. Let me use this opportunity and advertise my Nigerian Women in PR book. We have published this, we are selling this, you put price tags. So many brands do that, and you lose out on audience retention because if you even run ads sometimes, right? Let your ads be on things that are going to capture people. Let's not just be on that one static flyer that does not have so many information, or that does not that is not compelling. So, and I'm going to give you that instance. So first of all, have the mindset of building a community, building people who are loyal to your brand. Also have the mindset of incorporating trends and pop culture, right? In pop culture, that's via trendy videos. You can, what's that thing? Ogaraya. You see so many people did that Ogaraya thing. They brought their CEOs, they brought their, I mean, look at Tunelu Melu Foundation or UBA Bank. You see that many times because what they do by those things is that they're actually even trying to show you what it is like working for them. So you may not even be interested in the grants that they are doing in TEF that the organization is giving out, but you're interested in seeing, or so many times you can see yourself going to that platform, not because you want to apply for any grant, but because you want to say you admire their work culture. And it may be a facade, it may not even be true, they may not be so excited like that within, but they show you a perspective of the organization, they show you what it feels like to be with your brand. So that's that. Also, another thing is, not being too intentional with marketing, for example. That's if you're working for a brand. I mean, as public relations professional, there is a type of PR that has to do with marketing communications. And so many types of social media managers who are working for organizations that sell products, right, can be tempted to just keep showing what they are doing, showing the product, and really not. So sometimes being too intentional with your marketing might be poor. That's if you're managing a brand that is selling products. Show other aspects of the brand. Show the in-house things. So these are just a few of, I want to take all the questions. So this is just very broad, but ensure that you know that the essence of that management is you're trying to educate, you're trying to empower people, you're also trying to maybe sell a product. And ultimately, you're also trying to retain those people, audience retention. So those are strategies that help you and that will now, guide your maybe building of content calendars. So you're not just building calendars based on product. Right, thank you so much. Let me get the next question so that I don't take into the next question.
The next question.
You.
The next question, please. What strategies do you use to maintain cordial relationship with media contacts? Okay. As we know, media relation is fundamental to PR. The strategies and the tactics, please enlighten. So that's also there.
Right. Can I answer that first?
Yes, please.
All right. So for media relations, I mean, of course, as people who have background in mass communications now, it means that you're going to, I mean, while I was working for Radio Nigeria, I saw mass communication students come to intern, right? And so it means that you're also going to have the experience of journalism in bit. You're going to have that knowledge of journalism. You should know that the first way to win the media is to know how to write compelling stories before you even think of maintaining the relationship, because media relations is very paramount in public relations. I just wrote an article yesterday on it. Well, if you ask me, or if praise permits me, I might drop the link if I can even find it. I'm sure I can find it. But what was I even going to say now? Media relations is very paramount in public relations. So it means that, but you have to first win the organization, win that media house, because media houses have different organizations churning in stories to them. But you must ensure that you are able to write a compelling story. If that news is not gang, why do you want it to go to the media? And if it's not gang, you can also make it gang. What I mean is be able to write a compelling story that the media will even want to see and take and go, okay, I'm interested in publishing this story. That's one. Two, I attended an event last year for the Public Relations Week, and someone asked this question, and I'm going to answer. I'm going to say something that was said by one of the speakers there, which I found very, very interesting and out of the box. Many times we really look at the very theoretical and serious strategies, but you forget that with having a relationship with the media is like having any relationship. I mean, the people in the media are like every other person that you see. But when, like I said at first, you're going to win them by giving them compelling stories, right? Making them interested, or even having them write your stories. But the other thing is, how do you maintain that relationship? You ensure that they are always even up to, or they are abreast with the information that's happening in the organization. So that sometimes if your relationship with the media is perfect, and then for example, a blog or a maybe channels TV, which is not a blog, but which can also carry a diminished story. I mean, they don't only carry positive stories, you know, they may carry a diminished story about your organization. But because you already have that, or sorry, somebody may submit a story to Channels TV or Arise TV or something about your organization. But because you're already working in tandem with them, they are up to date with information about what's going on in your organization. They have that opportunity to call you in and say, oh, we got this story here. So is this true or is this not true? But when you just work with them as one-off, you've submitted the story, they publish it, and you've gone. No, that's not okay. I mean, there are things like bringing them into your organization, working with, there can be workers there, and sometimes it doesn't even have to, after they've worked with you for the first time, maybe publish a story about your organization. And it's workers there, you can decide that, oh, you have this contact, right? Let's do a show on your TV. Let's do something. Let's talk about workers. Let's build cordial relationships deliberately. What I said is that those working in the media are human beings like you are. So sometimes you'll also need to keep them updated with things that are happening. Let them know what your brand can do, what your brand cannot do. Let them see it in how you carry, in how you position your brand. So that when they even get stories from maybe other people, they can, before they even publish it, right? They can play it down because they know that this is not from you. And like I said, what the lady said in the event I attended during PR week last year was that she mentioned that sometimes what she does, this is something she said, which I found very interesting, and I'm just going to add it here. Sometimes she sends packages, is Nigerian, sorry, what's it called now? Is Women's Day, International Women's Day. All you do is International Women's Day campaign to your organization. Don't forget that tomorrow you're going to be calling that media organization and you're trying to beg them to publish your story. You're trying to beg that story is not true. Did you send them a package? Did you send a package to Arise TV or to Channels TV to which them happy International Women's Day? So basically, build cordial relationship with them as though you're building with humans. Do you understand? So those working in the media, so when you get that contact, when your story is first compelling and you have that access to them, don't lose the access. That's the point. Don't lose the access. Let there be those regular check-ins. You can opt to be on any show, to speak on anything that concerns you. You can show them what you're doing. You can connect with them. You can also deliberately maintain those relationships by taking things to them. That's not propaganda. That's not bribe. That is actually you maintaining as you would maintain a relationship with your staff. I'm sure you send things to your staff on international. Okay, no, you're not staff yet, but you work in organizations where the employers will give packages to employees on Women's Day or Workers' Day or different things. So also appreciate them for their work. Do you understand? Maintain that relationship as you would do to any other stakeholder. That's the last question. I hope I helped.
Thank you so much, Usibe. We really. You have questions. Anyone who has questions, you can put them in the chat box. By evening, this on Twitter and on Instagram, we're going to be answering your questions. You can also follow us. Go to our website and sign up for our newsletter, and we'll take all your questions or answer everything in our newsletter. But just note that this evening on Twitter, if you follow our page, you're going to see some of the answers to the questions that you've asked here. So please put your questions in the chat box. We'll take all of them. Thank you so much once again, Utibe. Really appreciate your time. Praise, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much, Utibe, for this session. I enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone that had questions. Your questions should be, you can still keep dropping your questions in the chat box. Today, we're going to address those questions on Twitter today. And also our newsletter, our weekly newsletter will also you get answers to the questions you are asking. And I want to encourage you to probably take a selfie or a screenshot and post on our Twitter, on your Instagram, and tag us. And with the hashtag is in the chat box. I already put the hashtag there for everyone to see. The hashtag is hashtag NGWIPR Student Summit together. Hashtag NGWIPR Student Summit. So please take a screenshot, take a selfie, post on your stories, post on your page, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Then this summit will be available on YouTube in case you want to hear it over again. It is recorded, so it's going to be on YouTube immediately after this session. So you can always go back to rewatch, to see the slides as well. So please don't forget to follow us on our social media. Handle is Nigerian Women in PR, Instagram, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, same, Nigerian Women in PR. Thank you so much. Time is fast spent. We are supposed to have another speaker. Doreen is supposed to come up to talk to us for like 30 minutes, but we've eaten out of Doreen's time. She would not be angry. It's just so that everyone can have an idea of what it is. So I want to quickly talk about, I want 3 minutes to talk about the initiative that we have that supports students. We have the Experiencing PR Annual Conference. It is designed to support the understanding and the value of PR to businesses and society. It's a gathering. It allows people in different industries, not only PR and communications people, but people across all businesses, business leaders, public office holders who have seen the impact of PR in their businesses, in their careers, in their offices. So they will be there. It's a yearly event. We did the one for last year, and we are planning for the one. We did one for this year last in March. We're planning for the next one, so it will be fine if you come. Then also the PR Student Summit is an initiative by Nigerian Men in PR to introduce profession to undergraduates across the institute. So we do different institutions every month. We call speakers, people that can talk to students about their experiences. So different universities for every month. Then the third initiative we have that is for mostly that undergraduates can attend. We also have the annual job fair. It's Job has this career fair thing, but PR job fair is one of the biggest in Africa. Different organizations, they come, people get jobs from the job fair. So it's a partner delivered event. We have partners that partner with us, and it's a credible platform where you can get jobs. You can meet with professionals. You can discuss. You can recruit. You can be recruited as a member of staff. It is going to, for the one for this year, is coming up at we're still searching for venue, but the date is November 7 in this year. So we'd expect that you would join. It's free. Our the PR Student Summit also is free. The Experiencing PR event, the Experiencing PR event also is free, and the job fair is also free. So we'd expect you to come for the job fair in November. So those are the 3 initiatives we have that speaks to our objectives, to getting people getting undergraduates, to get them to know about PR and to expand their horizon, and so you can get a different view of what PR and corporate communications is all about. So Vanessa, up to you.
Dialogue on all that we're doing at Nigerian Women in PR. We appreciate the work that Nigerian Women has been doing in PR. So our second professional with experience working with brands across sectors like FMCG, telecoms, finance, hospital. She's skilled in areas not limited to the following: online and offline communications, content writing, event management, media relations, digital marketing and monitoring, offline and online reputation management. She currently works as a brand communications consultant for Airtel Nigeria and specifically facilitates media relations and other necessary PR engagement for CNN in Nigeria. Please let's welcome Doreen Ube. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Can you all see me?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. you all took into my time, but then I'm not offended because not like I have 50 years experience to talk about. Don't worry, I'm very fast. So my name is Doreen, like they have rightfully introduced. Okay, please hold on, let me share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Praise. Good afternoon, Aneta. Good afternoon to everyone here today. My name is Doreen Ube, and I'm here to just talk about my experience, my PR experience, how I transitioned from being a student to being a public relations professional. So Vanessa already did a good job of introducing me. So I would have to skip the slide where I'm talking about myself. So just to give you like a breakdown of, oh, sorry, before I go too far, I would say a big thank you to the Nigerian Women in Public Relations. This is a really, really good opportunity. I mean, as an individual, I've always thought about how I could even push what PR is about. You know, when you tell people I'm a public relations professional, they'll be like, what's that? I mean, as mass comm students, I'm sure you're familiar with what PR is, but people outside really do not know what PR is. And we are actually doing a lot. PR professionals are doing a lot of underground work that people do not know about. So thank you to the Nigerian Women in Public Relations for this initiative to enlighten people about what we do as public relations professional. So how did I start as a PR person? Before my undergraduate days, I used to be very concerned about misconceptions. I do not want to hear you say A when it's supposed to be B. I was always very particular about clear communication, you know, so people used to think, oh, this girl will be a lawyer. I knew that I was very good in art courses, and I knew that I wanted to be in that art space, but I knew that I didn't want to be a lawyer. But then I didn't know what else to do. By the end of the day, I wrote JAM, I went to study mass comm. So along the way, I started doing my research, and then I came across public relations, and I just loved it because I could resonate with it. I had people that actually resonate with what public relations is, you know. So I'll be giving you a breakdown of my career progression. So I started out as a corporate comms and CSR intern. That was my first time doing public relations aside school. Then I moved into being a digital PR support. That was during my NYSC. From there, I moved into being a digital marketing strategist. I'm sure our former speaker talked a lot about digital marketing. Somehow, most of us just find ourselves having that experience. And actually, it turns out to be very important for us as public professional. And then before I finally transitioned into being a PR professional. So what am I trying to say is, I did not immediately start as a PR professional. So your starting might not always be what you want. I mean, I'm not here to just teach you what PR is. The former speaker has done a very good job on that to tell you what PR entails, what you need to know, what you should do. I'm just basically here to inspire you. You know, we are all still students. So I was once a student, and I'm here to talk about how I moved from being a student to being a PR professional. So yeah, the uncertainties of my journey during my school days. Did I start working towards my career for my days as a student? Yes, I did. So I'll be doing a lot of storytelling, yeah. In school, I have always known that I loved PR. So it's very good to identify what you want to do one time. You might want to major in broadcasting. You might want to major in PR. You might want to have all of that experience. It is very important to know and start working towards it from when you're in school. So I already knew that I wanted to be a PR professional. So what did I do? From internship days, I don't know if some of you already started your internship, or already passed through internship, or about, but I was very strategic about my move. So for my internship days, everyone kept on printing their IT letters and submitting to radio station. You know, I don't know if your school have a radio station, if your school has one, but I mean, so many schools have the radio station. So people were submitting to I'm the guardian of Uniben, by the way. So people were submitting to Uniben FM, people were submitting to different stations. Some of us that stayed in Lagos, some were submitting to radio stations in Lagos. But Doreen knew what she wanted. Doreen did not want to be a broadcaster. Doreen did not want to be a journalist. Don't wanted to be a PR professional. So what I did, I started to send out my letters, my IT letters, to different organizations in Lagos, right from when I was still in school, ahead of my IT. Because I know that when I work in an organization, I'll get to work with their communications team. I'll get to start doing what I've read in the book, CSO, internal comms, all of those things. But guess what? It didn't happen for me. I didn't work in the corporate comms department. I was thrown into an HR department. Yeah, I was thrown into an HR department. I'm already doing global learning and development. So I got there, I was like, this is not what I want. But I mean, I'm in a corporate space, so I'll find a way. So I said it, funny enough, nothing, I'll get to that part of my slide. There's no experience that is a waste. Trust me. There's no experience that is a waste, because from there I started to, that's when I actually found out that there's something called employee relations in PR. Something called employee relations. So that's when I actually found out that employee relations, there's actually a tie for HR people and for PR people. They actually have to work together for a good employee relationship in an organization. So working in HR space, that was how I got to find out. So because I wanted to be a PR person and I wanted to start building a portfolio, I made sure that in my CV, I tied this down to PR. I tied it down to PR. So I started trying to say, oh man, I started speaking to my boss, how can we, improve employee relations? There are other things to do, global learning and development. It had to do mostly with trainings, but I was trying to carve my own portfolio for myself. So I was trying to do more of employee relations for them. I mean, they didn't have a communications team in that organization. That was GSK. So I was taken to the plants in Adbara. It wasn't their headquarters. I mean, that's why I said they didn't have a communications team. It wasn't their headquarters, but they had units, office units, and PR team was not situated in that plant. So I had to find my way to get myself what I wanted. So I started trying to think of ways, how can we do employee relations? I can never forget this yellow box. There was this yellow suggestion box that someone was like, oh, we have this, you can work with this. So I started trying to do all of these things right from I was still a student, mind you, I was still in 300 level. So what I'm saying is I started working towards this career from school. I started being intentional about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to get. Now, the next stage, finding a job. After school, what was the certainty that I was going to get a PR job? I didn't know. But then there was still a very important stage that I needed to also leverage ahead of my career, and that was my NYSC. So now, during my NYSC, okay, I think I'm even skipping something. After school, I decided to reach out to, before school, in fact, the former speaker talked about something, relationship, networking, LinkedIn, very important. It was on LinkedIn I got my internship opportunity to work with Airtel. So my first corporate job, corporate communications job, which is PR, was in Airtel as an intern, a graduate intern. How did I do this? When I was in school, I was already building relationship with people. In fact, once I see, oh, head of communications, I will follow you. Once I see head of PR, I'll follow you. So I was doing things like that. And then I had reached out to the head of PR at Airtel. As at then, I was still in school. I was like, oh, I like what you're doing. So I was already putting myself out there, So he already had me registered in his head. We're not talking all the time. We're not talking the fact, but the first time I connected, I saw that he accepted my invitation. I already registered myself in his mind, So as soon as I finished school, I reached out to him. I said, please, I really love what you're doing. Like I said the other time when we connected, and I want to do what you're doing. And I need to learn under someone who is already doing well in that space. And that was how I got the job. The job was not out there. Trust me, it was not out there. You won't come and say, oh, Ete is looking for a corporate comms intern. It wasn't out there, but I was taking actions. And that was how I got that job. So it was very, very important for me to take actions, And then after that, I moved into NYSC stage. NYSC stage, I still wanted to do PR. But unfortunately, I deviated. We agreed, I and this organization got said, okay, I'll be coming in to do brands and corporate comms. But then they took me to digital PR. I mean, I just like to call it digital PR, but they were doing more of digital marketing. So I found myself in digital marketing again. So I wasn't doing PR at that point. There was a deviation. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is no experience is a waste. And so far, all of these actions has taken me to where I am today. After that internship, after that my NYSC, I moved into being a digital person again, my first job. My first job wasn't a PR job. It was a digital marketing company. But guess what? It was very helpful for me because if I had not done that move I made during my NYSC, I might have stayed like 5 years or I'm sorry, God forbid. I might have stayed like people would stay long to get a job. But at least even though it wasn't PR, I got something doing because of my strategic move during my NYSC. So what am I trying to say? There were uncertainties during my journey. There were some deviations, but because I had it planned out. So like I said, I'm here to inspire you, tell you about what I did, my experience, so you can learn from it and start making move as a student. So the next thing, activities to embrace as a student. When I was in school, there were different things. I mean, we had group work, we had topics where you had to write. I can remember how some people were running from, I can remember some people were running from a particular course, a particular lecturer. I mean, it was handling like three writing courses, and people always run from that man. But because I knew what I wanted to do, I saw myself in all his classes. And guess what? It helped me so much because what's PR? I mean, what's PR without writing? Then the second thing is group work brainstorming. There was even a time when I had not even resumed, but my course rep had made me a group leader. Why? I mean, I hated group work because you always have to find yourself. Some people are so nonchalant, so you always have to find. I'm sure many of you can relate. Some people are very nonchalant, so you always have to find yourself trying to make sure that things work. I mean, for people who are hardworking, people who do not like to fail, which is kind of mindset you should actually have. So those group work brainstorming actually helped. You do a lot of research and all of that to make sure that you have your group presentable and everything. And then the fourth thing is presentation, public speaking. Trust me, do not run away from activities like this as a student, because going through the part of PR, presentation, public speaking is very, very important. Fine, you might say, oh, I can't be the one to do the assignments, I still be the one to present. My dear, don't shy away from it. Do not run away from it because it's actually paying off. I remember I was just an intern and someone was hired at me in PR presentation and I just did it effortlessly. And she was like, have you been presenting before? I said, this is just an intern, I'm not been working. But then because I was doing this in school, it made things really, really easy for me. And then the fifth one is setting up personal brand and networking. I've talked about something like that before, where I had to start reaching out to people on LinkedIn. I was still in school, but I was already making people know that, oh, I want to do PR. I want to, I was already following people, building up an image for myself. So when people see, sorry, can I get like 2 minutes? Praise, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Hello.
can. Yes.
Sorry, can you just continue the engagement? I just need 2 minutes. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Or 1 minute.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so
I want to use this opportunity to inform us about something that will be beneficial to us. We have 4 publications on our website where you can download most of the questions you are asking here. You can actually find them inside the publications that we have on the website, on Nigeria Women in PR's website. We have 4 publications, and we do, like I said earlier, we have the Experiencing PR event every year. You can publish your writing in the magazine next year. So but for you to be able to publish, you should have an idea of what the other writers have written and how they've written it. So please go to our website. I would send the link. I'll put it in the chat box so everyone can have access to it. So you go to the website, you download the resources. We have 4 resources, 4 books that you can download, and they're all in PDF files, and it is free. Just download, read through it. Most of the questions I'm seeing in the chat box here, you will definitely get some of your answers, or even all of the answers there in the magazine. And you also familiarize yourself with our events and what we've done in the past. And I hope we've followed us on social media as well, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook and Instagram. So please don't forget to tell your friends. Also, you can take a screenshot, take a selfie, and post it on social media, tag us. Please don't forget the hashtag. Thank you. Welcome back, Dorian.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm actually at work, so I had to quickly attend to something. Okay, so I was talking about things that I embraced while I was in school. I never shied away from writing. I didn't shy away from group work, brainstorming, because as a PR person, you have to do a lot of thinking, a lot of strategies. So all of these experiences. I'm sorry, guys. Please just give me 1 minute.
Vanessa, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ife. I really appreciate. So I'm not able to turn on my camera for some reason. My network wants to act funny. But anyways, I hope that you've been enjoying the session so far. And if you have, let's just give a thumbs up. Let's see that you've been enjoying the session. Okay. Great, great, great. Great. So you know you're enjoying this summit, right? Then why are you not following us on social media? Why are you not following us on social media?
Sorry, guys.
Okay, hi, Jorin. I'll just give you a few
Hi.
minutes. You've been asking, or even things you need to know about PR, you definitely find it on our social media pages. And I'm just about to get the website link to put on the chat box so that you can easily access our website and then subscribe to our newsletter so that you can get resources. There are so many resources available on our website. So these resources will definitely help you in your path to PR. And I hope with all these things you've been listening to, you can see that PR is a viable, very viable career option for you. Thank you once again. Join, please take over. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I promise there won't be a distraction anymore. So sorry. Okay, so I was talking about things I did, in preparation towards the career path I wanted to follow. So I said presentation. In school, would come out to present, all of those things. I'm sure that people who till now they can't, because when they had the opportunity to learn, they were not doing it. So as a student, these are things that you need to embrace, especially if you want to do PR. I mean, you should do PR. It's a very interesting career, So then after school, things you should continue doing, continue to network, personal branding. Some people see me, I always hear is PR. Even when I was in university, there was this senior of mine that gave me this really big PR book because everyone knew I loved PR. Everyone knew I wanted to do PR. All of these things sets you on the path. All of these things make people know that if there's an opportunity, they should call you. If there's a place where you can learn more, they'll refer you. If there's a job, they'll refer you. An internship, they'll refer you. So just be passionate about it and let people know that you want to be in that part. Second is personal brand. I've talked about it. Make yourself that person you want to be. Make yourself that, let people see you and think PR. Then the third thing, having access to the right information, people, and opportunity. Right from when I was in school, I already knew what Nigeria Institute of Public Relations was. I knew that was an association I need to be a part of, an institution I need to be a part of if I want to be a practicing public relations person. In fact, I had even browsed, I did my research. I found out about Chartered Institute of Public Relations. That's a UK certification. I even found out about African Public Relations Association. But anyway, guess what? To be a part of those associations, they all referred me back to being a member of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. You have to start local. So this brings me to the point that you always have to start somewhere. So thankfully now I'm a member of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. And then the fourth thing, diligence. You have to be, anything you find yourself doing. As a student working on group work, be diligent. As an intern, IT, you're doing your IT, be diligent. I know people who, after their IT, they went back to work in the organizations. So starting the career was very easy for them. So your IT, be diligent. Whatever you find yourself doing, the NYSC, be diligent. Okay. I mean, concerning NYSC, I always like to talk about this. How I strategically moved from NYSC was also something that two other people who watched me as juniors in school, they did the same thing. And right now they're in the PR and brand space. You know, they're very strategic about what they wanted to do. They made sure that, oh, they found a way to get to work in PR agencies, marketing agencies. You know, NYC will just put you anywhere. But if you're strategic, you know what you want to do. Trust me, these days, people, when they're employing, they don't want to employ who does not have experience. People are not ready. Let me just tell you this small, let me whisper. People are not ready to put it through. Organizations, they are busy. People that are experienced are busy. So what will you do for yourself is start building experience from the ground and the grassroots. Start building experience. NYSC 1 year is a lot to have on your CV. 1 year experience working in that career path is a lot to have on your CV. So make sure you're very strategic about it. You know, I think I was talking about diligence. So just be diligent in what you do because it will also help you. You can easily get recommendation based on your diligence. You know, it can set you on limelight. So that's what I was saying. Then, so like I said, I'm here to inspire you. So I just have slides that have less text, but I'll be talking more. So what you should do for someone who wants to transition from being a student to being a PR practitioner, identify your passion on time. Thank God you are still young, you are still fresh, you are still in school. So identify what you want to do on time and love it. When you love it, you see yourself putting so much into it. I mean, the job I'm doing now is recommended. I was recommended to do it. Why? The person has seen me work as an intern before. In fact, the role she was leaving was a really high role. I was coming in as a junior, but I was brought in to do the role of someone who was up high up there. You know, fine, as doing it as a junior, but I mean, working in a capacity, that's a lot because why? I was diligent where she used to know me. I was diligent and I had that passion. So she could see that I could do these things from my little experience, my volunteering experience and all of that, you know. And then personally, one of the things that makes me really passionate about PR, if you're a PR person, your skills are actually rare. My skills are rare and I wear many hats. As a PR person, I'm a journalist, I'm a psychologist, I'm a conflict resolution expert, I'm a spokesperson, you know, I speak for brands. If you pay attention when you're listening, when they're talking about my profile, I consult for brands like Airtel, Xiaomi, CNN. Now, CNN, you will not see CNN office in Nigeria, but when they need to do something, I'm speaking on behalf of CNN. That's what the PR person do. You know, you see a press release out there for Airtel. Some of them are written by me. So all of these things make me really passionate. Fine, people might not know. They'll just see it as Airtel. But as a PR professional, you're the person behind actually making all of these things happen. You know, I'm a relationship management expert. I'm managing relationship with the media. I'm managing relationship with stakeholders. You know, I'm a counselor. As a PR person, you're a counselor because you advise on things that will not damage the reputation of a brand and many more. So my skills are rare and I wear so many hats. So this is one of the things that makes me really passionate about PR. I'm a problem solver, that's given. I'm a voice for brands, that's also given. I talk about the fact that some of the things you see out there are written by PR professionals. Even events, as little as events. So I hope this is giving insight of what a PR person does. As little as events, a CEO is coming up stage to write. I had written that speaking notes for the CEO. So yeah, PR people do a lot that people do not know about it. You think a CEO writes speech and come and talk. It's a PR person that would have written that speech for the person because you want the tone to resonate with the way the brand has been communicating in the past, you know. I also take pride in the fact that my background efforts actually paint that bigger picture that so many people are seeing. You know, there is a conflict. You see people, before you know, you see that the conflict has come down. PR people worked behind the scene, you know. So all of these are the supports that actually make me really passionate about PR. So it makes me really take what I do seriously. And trust me, taking what you do seriously always pay off. Then the next thing, after identifying your passion, take action towards it. I talked about the fact that I started reaching out to people. I made sure that my internship was to be in a communications firm. I did not want to. Fine, I could easily get a radio station, but I had to take action towards it. Okay. So you do your research, you read books, you follow the right people. In fact, as soon as this program is ending, you guys, if you really want to do this PR, you need to start identifying people who are up there. You need to start finding people who are doing PR, follow them, see what they talk about, see the kind of events they attend and they talk about. You always learn from their write-up. You always learn about what PR is from the activities they share on LinkedIn. Oh, they might share that, oh, we visited the governor of the state. That's what we call stakeholder management, government relations, actually. So now, you're learning what government relations is. You're seeing the way they talk. You're seeing the way they talk, Sorry, this reminds me of an experience I had as an intern at Airtel. We had this meeting. with Lafarge. I think that was Lafarge. So Lafarge came and they wanted to do something with Airtel. And as an intern, I didn't know anything. So that is why you actually need to start learning early. And they asked, oh, we really wish Airtel can partner with us. And then the director then was like, oh, Doreen, do you have something to say? And the inexperienced Doreen went ahead and said, I really wish, I hope Airtel can be a part of what you're doing. And when I came out of that meeting, my boss said, Doreen, it's like you want to leave this company. I was like, what did I do? And then I was taught that as a PR person, you have to be very diplomatic in the way you talk. You don't put promises out there anyhow. You should not promise what your company cannot do as a PR person. When they start dragging the brand, you manage crisis, So that's when I learned that you actually have to be very diplomatic about what you say. You get. So I was talking about the fact that you need to follow the right people, take action. So if I had not taken action to do that internship, I wouldn't have known all of these things. So I started out my first PR job. It felt like I had been working in PR for 5 years before my first PR job because of those little actions I had taken in the past. Also, not all experience is a waste. I keep talking about the fact that I was once into, I wanted to do PR during my NYSC, but they took me to digital marketing. But trust me, it helped me get a job easily before I was able to switch to PR. So that experience was very useful for me. Also, if I did digital marketing, somehow, somewhere, there will be digital PR activities. So that is also very helpful because imagine being only to sort out crisis offline, maybe through newspaper, press release, and press conference. How about online? How about there's a crisis online? People are talking about the brand and you can't do anything. So that experience was also very useful for me. Not all experience is a waste. When you decide to start taking actions towards being a PR professional, you might find yourself being an admin manager. Many people started out as receptionists. I know someone who is a top boss in a multinational company. She started as a receptionist. So not all experience is a waste. Fine. Why you have to be strategic? Sometimes you might see yourself doing what you don't want. That's the point. But how often are you trying to put yourself out there to be able to come out to eventually do what you want? You get. So you might not go the way you want, like I said, but keep trying to find your way. Even while I was in school, I found out about how PR was really interesting. I met my lecturer, then I said, please, ma, come and mentor me. But at the end of the day, today, right now, we don't talk. So it might not go the way you want. Even when it comes to mentorship, when it comes to, so I've been talking more of job, how you might not get the kind of job you want in PR immediately. Now, even mentorship, I had reached out to my lecturer, they mentored me, but I wasn't really getting what I wanted from the whole mentor relationship. So I had to cut it off. I still went ahead in life and I have another mentor. So just keep trying. Just keep trying to build yourself. Keep trying to put yourself out there. Attend events. Because of my quest to keep trying to know things about this profession, that's how I got to know about Nigerian women in public relations. If not for them, I won't be here today. So just keep trying to know about these things. Even in school, there are opportunities for you to join Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Even as a student, there's an opportunity for that. So keep trying to know all about these things so that way you know what you're doing. It is very, very, I can't overstress this. It is very important to know what you want because it helps you to actually move fast. It helps you to actually move fast. So you are able to know that this is what I want to do. What can I do to put myself in that track? So that was basically what I did. Nothing much, nothing so complex, but that was what I did in my quest to transition from a PR student, to a PR professional. So, like I said, I'm here to inspire you, not to tell you about what PR is. I mean, our former speaker has done so much due diligence to that. She has given insights, the fact that you need to know how to manage social media strategies, and all of that. So I only came here to inspire you, to let you know how I did it. I know people who have done the same thing and they're actually on track right now. So I hope I got to inspire you. Thank you very much. Do let me know if you have any question, then we can answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doreen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So your story, it reminds me of, who knows this Sabino's meme? That's like this strategy. So it just came out as a very strategic person. You knew what you wanted and you went for it. And I like that you highlighted the fact that not all experience is a waste. So you, like the first speaker also said, try different things, see what works out for you, and then pursue it passionately. Thank you so much once again. So now we'll be taking questions. Thank you, Doreen. We'll be taking questions as she has asked. But before we do that, there's going to be a feedback form on the chat box. So please click on it. We want to have your feedback on what you think about Doreen's presentation, and something that she also loves to hear as well. So this will really benefit her. Thank you once again. So please, let's have your questions, put it out there, put it in the chat box, or like before, indicate by putting your hand up so that we can call on you. Please go ahead. Hi, Tijani, please go ahead with your question. If you want to turn on your video, you can also do that too.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Sadiq. First of all, let me one of these.
Okay.
Is this speaking?
Okay, I
can't really hear you.
It was mentioned that what's it called? She said our skills are rare, and of that she said she's a journalist, public relation practitioner. I want to ask that how was she able to combine the both roles together? Because according to what I've heard, they said it's easy for someone to be a journalist and also be a public relation practitioner. That how was she able to combine the both roles together and be able to achieve her goal?
Okay, Doreen, how are you able to combine public relations and journalism? I think, is that your question, Tijani?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I think you didn't really get that part. So what I was saying on that slide was, I'm sure you get to see my slide, so I'm going to just go back a bit. Can you see my slide?
I can't, ma'am. I can't see it, ma'am. I can see it now. I can see it now, ma'am.
Okay. So can you see this part? The part that makes me passionate about. Yes. So I was talking about the fact that I love what I do because of all of these things. As a PR person, you are a journalist because you do a lot of writing. You do a lot of writing. So in PR, this is a little secret between us. In PR, sometimes brands do not just allow journalists to write for them. Sometimes brands do not allow journalists to write for them because you can be saying something different and another journalist can be saying something different, or someone in Punch can be saying something different, someone in Guardian can be saying something different. So as a PR person, you act as a journalist for your company. You write the press release, you write some of these articles, and then you put it out. So that I'm saying you wear many hats as a journalist, as a PR person. So I am not a practicing journalist, but I can be a journalist anytime, anywhere. That's what I'm saying. As a PR person, you can be a journalist anytime, anywhere, because you write. What a journalist can do, you can do it. Do you understand now?
I hope Tijani, you're able to get that response. We have another question from Omotoye. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon, ma'am. And thank you for this opportunity, for sharing your experience so far with us. Ma, I would like you to share your experience on how you've been able to manage crisis, and how you said in the slide that I showed, you said I am a problem solver. So I was just trying to like have an insight, or you should share your own experience on how you've been able to solve challenges with brands, just like this LT that you said you're working with now, talking about telecom issues, challenges that the customer are complaining. How are you able to deal with it? The way you've been able to tackle it. So I just want you to share your experience to us on how you've been able to manage crises and any other problems.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so in PR, fine, crisis communication is a thing, but there are different ways crises are being managed. And sometimes the way to manage a crisis is actually to keep quiet. Do you know that? So that sometimes you keep quiet because it's not so relevant. There are sometimes, for instance, Airtel, Glo, MTN, these brands, they deal with customers directly. It's a B2C, something we call B2C, business to customers, business to consumers. They will always complain. Nigerian customers will always complain. So as a PR person, you will know the one that you are to attend to, and the one, for instance, we have listening to, our former speaker talked about listening to, we listen to brands every day, what they're saying, they are always negative. Some people will say, this brand, something will happen to you people today. But then that's a bad comment here. That's a negative comment. But then what do? Nothing in such situation. You do nothing because they're dealing with customers, and some issues are peculiar to some locations. So using Airtel as a case study, if you are inside somewhere the network is not so good, it's not only Airtel. It is Airtel, MTN, Glo, all of them. I'm sure your network will be bad for all of the brands. So such situations, you don't consider them as crisis, and you do nothing about it. But there's some issues. For instance, talk about how I've been able to manage one. So there was, sorry, I didn't so much talk about Airtel because that's like the major brand I consult for aside other brands. So there was this major event we had, and a journalist had come to that event. And for some reasons, we had to change the location. We used to use a hotel in VI, but for some reasons, we had to change the location. And this journalist just went out after the event and published a particular press release that was not favorable to Airtel. He's talking about the fact that, they used to use this place. Now see where they use. The hall was small. The hall, that's very bad publicity for Airtel. Airtel is a big brand, so it shouldn't do that. So what I did, we were able to pick that news because we are listening. As a PR person, you have to listen. So we're able to pick that news, and we just escalated. The bosses at Airtel, this is what is going on. This is what's going on. So what did I do? I reached out to the editor of that news platform. I said, please take this down. So that's what you'll be doing a lot as a PR person, managing communication, taking down wrong publicity, pushing out the positive ones. So what I did to resolve that crisis was we had to say, okay, boss, this is what is going on, but we're going to sort it out. So we reached out to them, explained everything, and said, please, this is not something, this is the press release you should actually syndicate, not your own. Don't worry, we didn't have a press release for you, just indicate what we have. So that's why I said you're wearing the hat of a journalist, because you'll be doing a lot of communication writing too. So I had written a press release for that event already. So please take what we have written and publish. So that's how we're able to resolve that particular publication. So that's just one of the many examples. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And I think we have somebody asking about getting the slides. So I think that Ife will facilitate that with the speakers, and she would share on the group. I hope it is okay to share your slides with Doreen and Itibe. I hope this is fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Then thank you so much, Doreen. Somebody has a question that I think you should answer. The person says, good afternoon. Please, as a graduate and a beginner in PR, what are some of the career options available, and what's the average salary for those career options? So it's an important question that needs to be answered.
Average salary, I'm not an HR person, but then it's fine. So available career options. PR, you actually need to know everything. But then we have the content for, usually for beginners, you have the content specialists for beginners, where you do a lot of content writing and all of that. It's part of PR, trust me, it's part of PR because, I mean, we have, under PR, we have government affairs. So there are people that are specialized in managing government relationships for companies. We have government affairs, we have corporate communications. You know, all the people, what they do is managing communication, both internal, external. There's what we call internal communications. Yeah. There's what we call external communications. All of these are under corporate communications. And then we still have the CSR. Some companies, they're actually together, while in some companies they're separated. CSR is corporate social responsibility. If you have a good heart, you like to give, trust me, you will really love that part of public relations, because what they do, they reach out to communities. We call it giving back to the society. For instance, MTN, if customers don't buy their recharge card, they won't be in business. So customers are actually giving to them. So CSR, you are giving back. You get, so that's a part of public relations. So CSR, giving back to the community, doing some philanthropic stuff, having beneficiaries. If you notice, oil companies, some of them, because they used to work with all these Niger Delta states and all of that, sometimes they will have scholarships specifically for people in Niger Delta, not the whole of Nigeria, but people in Nigeria, because that is where, you know, that giving back to that particular community, giving back to that sector, that area in the country where they are actually benefiting from. Because if they try to say, I'm sorry, you can't work here, you can't do your oil drilling here, they won't be in business. So that's a part of PR to CSR, you know. Like I said, some people join it together with corporate comms. You know, so there are different parts of, you know, PR. There's also brand management. That's under PR. Some people, they just do PR for, maybe for individuals. As a celebrity, you can actually hire a PR professional. All you'll be doing is doing brand for that person, brand PR. You know, so you want to make sure that the person is not saying what to make them drag them on Twitter. You want to make sure that no blog is putting something bad about that person. So different things you can do. But for salary, it depends on companies, depends on organizations. You know, so some people start as, it depends on what, some people want to hire as intern first because you don't have experience. So for internship, it can be any 50,000, it can be any 70,000. And then when you get the job, I mean, I wouldn't advise anybody to, situation of the country. Sometimes you can start out with a job of 70,000. That's not my dream. That's the company. So you just need to be able to gather experience as much as possible from your student time, so that you can say, this is what I want to. I told myself that my first job, this is between us, I told myself that my first job, I don't want to earn anything less than 100,000. I'm sure people come out and then they will start to say any job, or then I say, no, I won't get less than 100,000. So I could easily open my mouth to say, give me more than 100,000, because I already had my NYC experience on my CV. I already had my Airtel on my CV. If I had not taken those steps, I wouldn't have been able to have those things on my CV to say I want this salary. I'm sure there are many graduates in Nigeria that any less than 100, they have, I mean, they won't be working for years. In fact, when I got to that organization, there's somebody that's working before me. I heard she was earning less than 100. Is that my doing? No. She had been working before me in the company, but I was just coming in. That was my first job. I was earning less than 100. That's not my doing. But because I had equipped myself, I had given myself the things that I needed to be able to say, this is what I want to earn. So like I said, it's based on the company and also what you can offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Doreen. Once again, strategy.
I wasn't very particular about that.
Yes, thank you so much. And I think we've all enjoyed this summit. I think we've enjoyed it.
I'm taking a particular question.
Sorry, please go ahead.
Yes, so I would like us to turn on our video so I can take screenshots of everyone that's present so we can post on our social media. So please, I'm trying to figure out how to make everyone show on my screen so that I can post on our social media. So please, everyone should please turn on their video. Please, so I can just take a picture.
Sorry, can you have the slide share stopped so that you can have the full? Can you stop the slide share?
Yeah, can you
Oh,
please
sorry.
stop the share here?
Yes, so
I
that
think
that
that's
that can give you
preventing me. Yes, I want us to just get a wide what's it called?
sorry, before I think this will be your last activity, the picture, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, before we do that, can I just say something?
Yes, of course you can, sir.
Okay, I would request that one of the students give us a vote of thanks to thank our facilitators and just say what they if that will be in place. Is that right? Is that
Yes,
okay?
of
Is that okay
course.
by you? Yeah?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is,
Okay,
sir.
because I think it's what that the students also say thank you in a proper way to our facilitator. So I will invite Kolade Victoria. Can you do that on behalf of the class? Kolade Victoria.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of the students of Olabisi Onabanjo University, I would like to say thank you to our facilitators, that Miss Doreen and Miss Ube, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes,
much,
yes.
ma'am. We really, really appreciate your contribution and your love for us to be able to become partakers in your experience and also share with you our own, intent to be able to become practitioners of public relations. I want to say thank you for sharing your experience so far and for not limiting your experience, because like you said, Miss Doreen, you said many people are not even willing to share their experience to also tutor or probably build people, but you took out of your time to invest in us and also make us great practitioners of public relations. Thank you so much, Ma, for your time. We really appreciate this, and we promise you that we'll not take all of this that you have impacted into us for granted. And we also look forward to having you around. If you can come around to our school, probably for us to have a meeting, one-on-one meeting, that's also part of networking. Would appreciate it, and we'll be happy to receive you, Ma. Thank you so much. And also want to say thank you to the Nigerian women public relation practitioners for bringing up this platform for us to be able to have access to knowledge and also have access to great professionals. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for bringing this initiative to be able to help us and to make us know what we need to know about public relations. Thank you so much, Mel. We are so grateful. We want to say we love you. Wish you well in your endeavors. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. You're going to make me tear up. I'm still trying to figure out how to put everyone together on one what's it called? One screen, and I still can't find it. It's proving difficult. But we have a list of
High praise. Can you go to views and then you choose large gallery and you get that?
Now I tried choosing large gallery, but it's not even coming up. It's blank on my screen. Focus on content and large gallery is blank. So I don't know why. It's just together mode, speaker, and gallery. Then we have more options. Show gallery on the right.
Private setting. I got the notification that
Yeah, what did you say?
I said you had the data privacy setting where one person, because people are from different organizations, we cannot see everybody's information. So I think that's part of the reason why you're having this challenge. I saw that on
I think screen. Now I'm seeing multiple people on my screen. I don't know how. I think I'm seeing multiple people on my screen at the moment. Can you just keep joining and let's see if it works? Okay, I think we should just keep switching on our videos and it will make sense. Yes, so I'll just take it screen by screen. I think I'll do that. Please keep on turning on your videos. I think I'll move to the next slide. Okay, hold on. Some people, Emmanuel, I cannot see you. Tijani Sadiq, I can't see your face.
Can you see me at all?
Yes, I can see Dr. Dare. I can see a few people. So I'm trying to take a screenshot. Okay, let me see if I can take a screenshot on my system. They're able to. Okay, I can see Colade Victoria as well. I think I have to take it in my phone now because. Okay. Okay, everybody say cheese.
There's no cheese here. Oh, I have only bread.
Okay, the next set of people. Okay, I can see your faces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uko Mary, I can't see your face. Okay, hold on. More people have joined. Okay, more people have joined. I'm trying to. Osani, I can't see your face. I don't know why. So I'm trying. Then I think the last four. Okay. Some people are still joining. I'm just waiting for them to. Please, there are still some more people that.
Some people had network issues.
Yes.
I guess some of them had
turn on your
network
screen.
issues. I just stopped that.
Oh, so sorry. Please keep turning on your screen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please keep turning on your screen. Hope your phone did not fall. Because I thought it fell. Okay, people are still turning on your screen. I'm still waiting for other people.
Okay, I think you can take this now. This is a full house.
Yes, yes. I'm trying to do a screenshot with my system. Vanessa, I cannot see your face. Why? Okay, I'm seeing your face now. Okay. I think I've tried my best.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you to everyone from Nigerian Women in PR. And then thank you so much to the wonderful students of Olabisi Onabanjo University. I'm so delighted to speak to you today, and I look forward to connecting with you. Have a
You can
great
also
day.
you can also check them on LinkedIn. Follow their pages on LinkedIn. Follow Nigerian Women on LinkedIn. Please don't forget to take a picture, hashtag on social media. We have our resources for you to download and read through. Thank you so much. Do have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
A round of applause. A round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Daddy, you don't finish. How many marks all over like that, sir?
Kutoka kamera ya peke.